It's Con Blast. I wanted to do a quick video on the vampire. Um, I have actually done pretty a lot of studying on that because before I really got into the Bible and back with the true word of Jesus Christ, I was into these books, and right now I'm actually reading I Am Legend, the book. And it's funny. The book is actually nothing like the movie. The book is about really the virus that goes on. If you ever seen the movie I Am Legend, it's like they surround it on the zombie part of it, but actually it's a vampire tale. Um, and But there is, like, a plague that happens that turns everybody into a vampire in the book. It's I think it's a blueprint for a future that could happen in our reality. Um, Believe it or not, there was a time where in the Egyptian times when there actually was real vampires running around. So look, see. This is from an Egyptian hieroglyph of a woman biting a vampire biting a woman. How many? I mean, tell me if you've seen this picture before. I've never seen any pictures like this on YouTube. I actually did some research into this and found this. This is an actual vampire woman biting. I mean, they knew about these things way back before Dracula came around. Dracula, I think, was made to dumb the vampire down. I think I believe that these things are real. I think these things are really out there. All of the things that you were told of in movies and stuff like that are kind of truths and lies mixed at the same time. Like back in the 80s, you had a movie like Salem's Lot, where the vampire was looked at as, what it is, a bloodsucker. That's all they really want is just their blood, and that they're evil and stuff like that. And then you get to movies nowadays, and they're portrayed as lovers, like they're our friends. These I actually read this book too. I didn't read the first three. I actually read the last book because I was just like, what is all this, about this Twilight, let's see how good it is, I thought. So I read it, and the book it was okay. I didn't I just didn't like the fact that that they tried portraying the vampire. It's this great guy that she ends up falling in love with. I mean, come on. I can guarantee you, if you met a real vampire in real life, ladies, you wouldn't be crawling all over him. You'd be running for your life. Trust me, you would. I never really met one, but I personally believe that there are really ones out there. Here is a pretty cool article I found, actually, about real life vampires. It's the 10 creepiest historical vampires you'd ever heard of. Here's the one right here. Peter Plogawis, whatever how you pronounce that. That's the number 10 one. Here's the article if you want to read it. I can't read all of them, like I said, because of the time limit I have for making these videos. But here's a story that goes along with them. I read the stories for these. They're pretty interesting. Here's number 9. This is the castle of vampires. See, I mean, it says right here, spreading plague. They spread their disease around. It's like a disease. And this is not a laughing matter, but, it's funny how people, how the movies have really dumbed this stuff down to where you're crazy if you even think that these are real. Here's another story. Here's the picture of one of the or the ghost vampire, I guess it was. This one's about a ghost vampire. They're not long articles, if you want to read them. But even there's a couple other researchers out there that actually talk about how they think this is actually true too, how this might happen. I don't know if anyone's ever listened to Dr. Scott Johnson. He actually talked about just recently about how they found a cure for cancer where they can put like rabies or something like that into you, and then it'll supposedly help cure it. I forget what it was, what they put inside, what they inject you with. But he actually kind of came around saying that he thinks that an epidemic like this could happen. Look, this was something of a vampire epidemic. You see, it's going to be it's not going to be like the movies either. It's going to be different than that if this happens. I think it's going to happen in some way. It's going to happen like this. This lady was sick. They had a thing about her on the History Channel. Actually, she was called the Blood Countess. She actually bathed in women's blood and stuff. Pretty interesting stuff, though. Okay, now let's go back to these Egyptian ones again. See, look, these things were out there. These it didn't just start with Dracula. It's been around for a long time. These stories of these things. The movie, I forget what it was called. Queen of the Damned. Talked about the movie was about an Egyptian vampire that came back to life. And she came out and started killing everybody. And she was actually the first original vampire in the movie. Little truth to it, like I showed you in that picture. I mean, this ones aren't vampires, right here. But who knows? Maybe this thing was a vampire. Maybe that's what it really was. There's the one I told you about. There's the picture of Aaliyah as the vampire from Egyptian time. These things go way back. See, look, here's a story in the paper about Dracula, story of a killer. Teen gang stabs boy in Brooklyn. See, vampire elite. See, they're finding out recently that, believe it or not, that they think drinking the blood of the young will make the older. If you're older, it'll make you like younger. They really. I actually did a video about that not too long ago, showing a news article where they were talking about that, where if the blood from the young will the elite do this stuff. They drink people's blood, supposedly. Like I said, this isn't all. Everything I talk about is not like 100%. Where I'm saying, that this is what you have to believe. I'm just putting it out there. Like I said, you decide for yourself what you believe. I personally believe that these things possibly are out there. That's why they show you these pictures in the hieroglyphs, kind of telling you what really is going on. So, yeah, pretty interesting stuff, like I said. As always, I put it out there for you to think about, Here you got your family tree of, these ancient, You got ISIS. Now you're hearing a lot about ISIS lately, you know, in the news. And what was ISIS? The queen. She was the queen. She was the queen of the damned. See? Queen of the damned. That's what that represents. See? Queen. Queen of the damned. So, there's always something to think about. Okay, as always, this is Con Blast, and I hope everybody has a good day or night wherever you're at, and as always, God bless, and I will see you for another video.